House Ethics Committee sits in judgment of Representative Charles Rangel, Democrat, New York. And I know everybody in this room knows who that is, unfortunately. But it's hard to see how one of them can be impartial when they have received campaign funds from Rangel's National Leadership PAC. And that would be one Mr. G.K. Butterfield. I'm amazed that in light of all that's happened in regard to Charlie Rangel, that G.K. Butterfield has neither returned the $4,000 tainted contribution bribe he has received from Congressman Rangel, nor has he stepped down from the Ethics Committee investigating Rangel's tax evasion and junking on corporate money. This is serious business. The committee appointed G.K. Butterfield a participant in similar Caribbean trips as the chairman of the investigation. Ethics experts, along with me, argue that Butterfield's 2005 trip to the Caribbean with Rangel is a conflict of interest because of relationships he established on those trips. The same people he's investigating are the same people he went on the trips with. The same groups that organized the trips, illegal trips that Rangel's now being charged with, Butterfield participated with. That's Washington, D.C. at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Representative G.K. Butterfield has taken a political bribe, and I've asked him publicly, and I'm here today in Craven County asking him again, quite frankly demanding him to give the money back to Charlie Rangel. In addition to giving the money back, I call on him today to resign from the Ethics Committee immediately because he is not fit to judge trial of Charlie Rangel. Charlie Rangel has been Butterfield's political patron since G.K. Butterfield entered the Congress in 2004. Butterfield is indebted to Charlie Rangel. He has been since he entered the U.S. Congress. It's as simple as that. And now, Representative Butterfield must judge Charlie Rangel on House ethics violations in a trial. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not right. Charlie Rangel is another corrupt politician who deserves to be in prison just like Frank Balance. Does everybody remember that guy, Frank Balance? He went to prison for stealing your money. And Charlie Rangel deserves to be in prison with him. Congressman Butterfield, in my opinion, has taken a political payoff to cover Charlie Rangel's back. That's what he's done. Now, do we continue to allow him to do this? Or do we, the people here of Eastern North Carolina, demand better out of our representatives in Washington? And I'm here today because I believe it's my job as the Republican nominee to hold Mr. Butterfield accountable for his actions in Washington. That's what we need to be doing. People need to be educated what this guy's been doing since he's been in Washington. He's not been looking out for the people here at Eastern North Carolina. One member of the Ethics Committee, and his name is Representative Peter Welch, Democrat, Vermont. He chose to do the right thing. He received $15,000 in campaign contributions from Representative Rangel's PAC as serving a member of the Ethics Committee. And guess what he did? He gave the money back. He did the right thing. The tragedy behind all this is this simple thing. Rangel most likely will not lose his job. The House Ethics Committee will probably slap him on the wrist and send him on and to continue serving in the U.S. Congress. That's what's going to happen. And that's what set up this bribe, this political bribe has set up that process to allow for that to happen. Do we want that to continue here in Eastern North Carolina? Our representative representing us in Washington, D.C. that way? In my opinion, the answer is no. And I hope you would all join me in writing letters to the editor. Okay? Writing Congressman Butterfield. So, hey, Congressman Butterfield, do the right thing. Give the money back. Resign from the Ethics Committee. And I'm going to say this. I think it's fair to say that Representative's personal relationship with Butterfield, who, we know Rangel's going to trial, is grounds for recusal within itself. How in the world can Representative Butterfield act as an impartial judge, basically, on Rangel's illegal behavior when he himself took some of the same trips that Rangel's in trouble for? Unlike several of his Democratic colleagues, Butterfield has not chosen to do the right thing. Most of them have chosen to give the money back, and unfortunately G.K. has decided not to. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only talking about $4,000. That's all. Guy's got $400,000 in the bank right now. That's what he's got. It's not about the money. It's just about right and wrong. And that's why I'm asking him to do this. Representative Butterfield, when he was Justice Butterfield, would have never allowed himself to be put in this position. If he had taken money from someone that he was about to judge, do you think he would still be the judge on that trial? The answer is no. He would recuse himself. It would not be allowed to happen. But unfortunately, things like this happen in our nation's capital each and every day. And we continue as citizens to let it continue to happen. We do it. Is he our representative? I'll leave you with this thought. The real question, and it's no wonder why I have to be around Eastern North Carolina talking about we need jobs. This is what Congressman Butterfield is doing in Washington. In my opinion, he's not representing the people of Eastern North Carolina. He's representing Nancy Pelosi, the special interests, and liberal PACs. These are not the values that we have in Eastern North Carolina. These are not what we hold standards to. You and I would not be allowed to get away with this. And why should a congressman be allowed to do it? Judge Butterfield would have never done this. Why is it any different because he's Congressman Butterfield? And we need to think about that. Do we demand better of our representatives? Or do we allow them to continue this behavior? I'm going to need your help. I've asked you to consider supporting my campaign. We've got a long ways to go, but we can beat this guy. We can beat him. But I'm just thankful everybody came today. I'll be glad to.
As long as the federal government's going to give us this money, we're going to take it.
Money's coming from somewhere.
They don't even look at it very closely. Commissioner Allen said last night that the 3,000 counties in the United States, if the 3,000 counties and every county is getting that much grant money, it's a terrific burden on the taxpayer.
It's an absolute burden. I mean, the reality of the situation is this. Our nation in the next 10 years will be $20 trillion in debt. Right. We're spending at a level that's not sustainable. We're creating money out of thin air. The way this country's headed economically, unless something's done, a halt is put to some of these socialistic programs that we cannot afford. God help our children, my children, your grandchildren, children, what have you. That, quite frankly, I'm not going to be able to sustain those lifestyles. There's going to be a lot of people that, that created massive amount of debt, living beyond their means. Hey, that's what this country's been doing for a long time. And it's finally come to that brick wall where they say it's time to pay your bills or give it up. And that's what we're seeing in this country. Now, in regards to entitlement programs, naturally, I don't want to get to each and every entitlement program today. Simply ain't time for that. But yes, I mean, there's going to have to be people, and I believe there's going to be a freshman class in the United States Congress with a lot of conservative thinkers like me that are willing to make those tough decisions, are willing to lay their political capital. Don't get reelected, so be it. This is one of these election cycles. It's about the good of the country.